Hello everyone. The main aim of this video is to highlight what exactly you have to submit for the week one. So you can find something called as a week one exercise, which consists of Excel spreadsheet and also the assignment. So this is a submission link where you have to submit your file, and what exactly you have to file, I will explain to you. So first of all, you have to download the Excel spreadsheet, which looks like something like this. Just a minute. So it's look like something like this. So you have to fill, first of all, you have to identify what are the issues with this specific design is. It's your assumption. So here is no there is no right answer or no answer. It's just an exercise for you to understand before we move ahead with what are the best practices are, what is the right design and what is the wrong design. Okay, so if you have, I have given some comments last time, so I will not give that, but I have one thing which I want to highlight now for this exercise, that if you are separating these ones as a second table, you have to think about what type of attributes you will be adding. Okay, so for example, this is a second table, so maybe you can rename this one as an employee, and you can create another sheet and you can name it as a skills or skill. You can copy paste it here. Wait, this one will be here, and you can copy paste it here in order to know what are the names of the skills are. I will just do few of the examples for you, not all of them. So here, what you can do is that you can add skill code. It should be underscore, not hyphen. You will find in some places they are using underscore as well. I will explain that when we will reach the ERT diagram. Okay, the difference between each of them. Because in Excel you will find underscore in some of the examples. So now here we have skills and code. So S will be capital. We will not be using Excel. This is for this exercise only. So you can add any skill number to it as you want to. So basic design. So you can look at how many times the basic database have been mentioned here. And skill two, which is for the basic design two. So for the rest of them, you can identify how many skills in total are and what are their names are and what are their dates. Okay. So for this one, for time being, I don't want to consider this one because you are the one who will complete it. And we remove the other attributes from here. These are the skill date, and which we said that it's a skill date when exactly that specific employee have completed that skill or that specific course. Okay. So now here we have discussed something like if we are deleting this one, or let's say I will add one column here. So should we add a skill code here? It is acceptable, but how you will deal multiple values. So you can say that it is SK01, SK02, but it is not a best practice, which I will explain in week two why it is not a best practice to have two values in one column. But I will accept in this exercise because this is for your assumption, okay? And why you think it's a good example in case if you want to, is it acceptable or not, I will discuss in week two, okay? Or what you can do is that you can add in skill employee ID. Okay. So it's up to you how you want to design it, whether add the employee ID here or add a skill code here. But how it should be, there are certain rules we follow to add these type of foreign keys. We call them as a foreign key. which means here the skill code is a primary key, and employee ID or employee number is a primary key. You can also rename them. So if you remember, employee number is acceptable, but it's good to rename them. Okay. And one more thing which we have mentioned in our class is that um, regarding the hiring date. So if you are adding a skill code here, you have to think about it whether the skill date should be in employee or it should be in the skills. Okay, this is something you have to consider as well. So if you are adding the skill code but not employee ID, should the skill date should be in employee table or in the skill table? Okay, so this is for exercise number 1. Now we'll go back to what you have to submit. So let's go back here. You will go to the lab 1, sorry, the exercise 1. In exercise 1, it's a link where you can attach your file, but when you are submitting it, you have to make sure you are renaming it. So first you have to rename it. How you can rename it? You have to write the class exercise, as I have given here, and your first and last name. Okay, as I have mentioned here. Okay, same format use, copy paste it, and then name it. We do have 2 files here. Let's download and see what are these files. This is the first file. This is a question paper. The other one is a template for you. Just a minute. So one of them is a template and another one is your exercise questions. So this is a question, what you have to answer, and this one is a template. So now let's look at the template. So this one is a template here. So you can see here you have to write your name, your ID, and here you have to answer. You do not have to write anything here because it's just a heading. So first, existing issues, write down all in the points. Once you have written the points, for each issue you have mentioned here, for example, you mentioned the E number should be a primary key. And what is a primary key? You can mention here is that it's unique and it should be not null. Or we also said that we can also call it as a required, which I will discuss further later on. Okay. So for this issue, how you can E number should be a primary key or not null. Okay. How you can improve it by setting it as a primary key, by removing duplicate values and fill the null values. You can mention also which rows you have updated. You can mention it here. Okay, this is for you. I'm not writing the answer here. I'm asking you to mention the rows which you have updated. For example, you can say that row number 9. Okay, so it's a row number 9. Fill the value for the record number 9 and so on. So you can mention all the things you have improved. Screenshot. Once you have filled that one, you will just take a screenshot of it. How you can take a screenshot? You have to make sure you use the snipping tool from here to all the records. The main table, you have it here. Okay. You can give a name of the table also on top of it if you want to, or in the end of it. That's the table name is this. So we already have given a name here. So it's up to you, but it's better to show me the table name. So maybe you can take a screenshot, something like this. Make sure it is clear and readable. And I'm not giving you an answer, I'm just giving you hints here. So it's not an answer for you. These are the hints you have to consider in order to complete your exercise one. You can add your screenshot here, and that's it. Okay? So this is for exercise number one. Now, what is for exercise number two? For exercise number two, you have to fill the template. You have to schedule, you have to mention the class schedule of to your classmate. Just discuss the redundancy and anomalies. Okay, so I'm not interested into what are the chances. You can fill it with by dummy data or you can use your own data. It's your choice. So there is no restriction for that, what type of data you want to enter. Okay, maybe you have all the same courses, so you might not find any redundancies or anomalies. So redundancies, you have to mention any inconsistencies are there, missing information, or duplicate values, and so on. If it's not there, mention it's mention not. Okay, mention that there is no redundancy. Anomalies I have mentioned earlier: insertion, modification, and deletion. So if you are adding any new record into this table, what will happen? Will it affect any other table? For example, let's say you have a table, call it as a course. You can assume there is one more table which is a course. So if you are removing anything from here, such as student ID, will it affect the course or not? If you are adding any information here, will it reflect in the course or not? Okay, so insertion, updation, and the deletion as well. So this is something you have to consider. You can create a new table or you can assume on the one which is existing ones. It's up to you. But I would suggest you to go for table two, which is course or maybe enroll, maybe payment. It's up to you. It's your choice. You're free to do as you want because this is your design and you are the one who will be designing it. Okay. There is no right and wrong answer in this exercise, but as we move ahead with our upcoming weeks, we will have right and wrong answers. After that, you have done that. Please take a screenshot and upload it here. Make sure you're renaming your file, submit your file as attached. If you have any comments to add, you can also add it. Okay. And one more thing, please make sure you're submitting on time. It's due on 13th of September, 6 p.m. After that, if you're submitting it, I will not accept it, you will get 0. So you can see here, I'm not accepting any extensions and excuses for your labs and exercises. Unless you have any mitigating circumstances, if you're sick, I need your evidence. Okay, thank you so much.